Watch it. Hey folks, this is WooFDriver coming back at you. Had a little bit of a Wolf Dreams broadcast before. Now we're getting GiGi in shape again. It's getting warm out, so I'm going to just try to take her for a little run on the rough board. Take this with you, Dan, please. Good. I got it from here. Those of you that don't know, GiGi's the 10-pound or so Chinese Crested, and she's on a special attachment that makes it hard for her to get to the wheel. She still technically could, but I'll keep an eye on it. She's done this before, so it's not as, I'm giving her a little more freedom on there. Not as close as it usually is. I've got Princess with her today, and we're just doing a light run in the neighborhood. Mainly I'm doing this for GiGi, just to get her back in action and see how she does. If she doesn't like it, I've got Dan with me, WooFDriver team member, and he's going to follow behind me just to keep me safe here, as well as to, if we need to put GiGi up and just give Princess a little ride. So with that said, I'm going to make sure I got you on the right microphone here. Okay, sorry folks, you might not have heard me there. Welcome, I'm the WooFDriver, and today we're doing a little run for GiGi, which is our little 10-pound or so Chinese Crested, and the Princess, who you're all probably familiar with. She's about 13 and a half years old. We're just doing a neighborhood trot. We're doing this just to really get GiGi back in the swing of things. Now she's on a special attachment different than Princess. Doesn't give her quite the freedom, but it keeps her away from the wheel. Now she technically could still get near the wheel. She's been trained on this, so she's got a little more freedom. I used to do it without, with even less room for her to roam, just to keep her away from that wheel. We're going for a quick run. This is more for GiGi. Princess is just comforting her, and it's good for Princess to move her joints. The boys are resting right now while we do our little run here. So Dan's with me. By the way, if she gets tired or shows, it's a little hard to sometimes start her off, especially the first run of the season for her. But if she does, and I have some treats with me to motivate her, if she does get tired or she just doesn't want to do it, I'm going to put her in the van with Dan. He'll be trailing us, and we'll just give Princess a little run. So here we go. That being said, we're going to see how good we can stream this. Come on, G. She done. Come on, come on. It's okay, good girl. It's okay, good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. So come on, good girl. Come on, good girl. Good girl. So the scooter's got a little, it's been a little funky. Come on, good girl. There you go. Good girl. So sometimes you just got to give her a little tug. She's a little nervous, but she's more concerned why we're leaving the house than anything. Let me just make sure we're still on. Got a car coming. Okay, come on, good girl. Good girl. Now you're going to see her being a little hesitant. Come on, good girl. But I'm going to give her a lot of praise. Good girl, GiGi. We're going to go real slow. Good girl, GiGi. And GiGi's got a lot of energy, so it's perfectly a wonderful outlet for her. And I also wanted to show people how this is easily done with one dog. Everybody's used to seeing me with the 4 dogs. And even if I was just with GiGi, I have some early training videos when I first took her. You see Princess is pulling the whole load, actually. Got a little downhill deal going. I'm not as concerned with GiGi because she's been on here a million times, but we're going to let this car go past us. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, Dave, looking good. It's just my neighbor there. Okay. And you can see GiGi. Now, this will encourage her to go to the bathroom, as all dogs, because of the exercise. There she goes. Good girl, GiGi. So even just this small distance has been a good introduction for her once again. She's done it a lot last year, but with the winter, I wasn't able to get her out much because she's just too thin-coated, if you know what I'm saying. She doesn't have any hair. She's a hairless, well, very minimal hair. Good girl, GiGi. And what we want to do is keep her very comfortable. Good girl. And not not go too fast. And if the boys were here, it would be a little bit more of a speed exercise. There she goes. Good girl. And you can see her. Good girl, Gigi. This is just nothing more than a glorified walk, folks. But this is conditioning her to be used to running next to a wheel that's spinning, a slight motor sound. This is electric, but it still emits some sound, some mechanical sounds. Good girl, Gigi. She's really doing remarkable. So it's just like us humans riding a bike. Once they're trained, they're pretty good. They pick it up just like it was clockwork, just real easy. She's doing wonderful. Good girl. Now we're going to come to a little bit of an intersection. All these are all side roads. Haul, 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 haul. Haul is a term for sled dogs, which means go to the left. And I say it loud enough for Gigi to hear it. There she goes. She's doing wonderful. She might pick it up. And this scooter has a little bit of some engine trouble, for lack of a better description. So it's actually the motor controller. It needs to be replaced. We haven't gotten to it yet. Good girl, Gigi. Now Gigi's just a little concerned because she hears the car behind us, who is Dan. And she's doing great. This is a hill we're climbing now, folks. So this hill will give her a little bit of a challenge. Good girl. She's getting ready to go to the bathroom. Good girl. She's doing a bathroom stop. Good girl, Gigi. Good girl, Gigi. Good girl. Okay, good girl. See how that... Come on, good girl. And it's a little hard to start back up because of... It's okay, good girl. It's good for her to... The machine is struggling. Actually, I'm going to get off it and walk it. Okay. Look at her. She's got it fully extended. She's doing awesome. The machine's struggling a little again because of that motor controller issue. And notice how good Princess is with her. She's just like one of the pack. And originally, if you were with me last year when I was doing this, I was doing a lot of it to not only train her, but to socialize her with the big dogs. Because this forms the pack mentality, or caters to it, and teaches them all about being a team. So, come on, Princess. Nope. Good girl. She's just sniffing over there. So, this will strengthen the bond and teach them that they're all working together for the same purpose. Good girls and good... I was going to say good boys, but there's no good boys here. It's only the girls today. So it helps strengthen the bond and teaches them they're on the same team. Come on, good girl. So this scooter being a little sluggish is actually really good for her because it's enabling me to go super slow. And she's out in front. Look at that. Good girl. I'm super impressed with her, the way she's responding to it. See, we crested the hill, and a little bit of speed was picked up, and she dropped back a little bit. Good girl, Gigi. Come on, good girl. Good girl. She's doing awesome. So, we could run into neighbors who have other dogs, but that's all part of the training. And these guys, Gigi and Princess, can't go anywhere, as well as the other dogs in the neighborhood should be leashed. Good girl, Gigi. She's going to go to the bathroom. Oh, yes, she is. So this is really helping her empty herself, which is awesome. Come on, good girl. Now, good girl, good girl, good girl. Come on. Now come on, good girl. She wants to move. Good girl. It's okay. She wants to get away from her bathroom droppings. And Dan will come back through here with me, or we'll pick all that up. It is in the street, but we're very cognizant of keeping the area clean, obviously. So, right there, it's been a productive walk. It's helped her out and That keeps her even more comfortable just doing the bathroom stop. And lets her know, even though she has learned this before, but I'm repeating myself from last year's training sessions, just to let you know that this lets her know that she can stop and go to the bathroom. Now, sled dogs typically don't stop and do bathroom breaks. They can't stop the whole team. So we're going downhill, and she's being a little bit hesitant. It's okay, good girl. So I'm just going to go a little slower. Good girl. Princess being here also helps her because it shows her that, hey, my big sister's here and everything's okay. Even though Dad's here, there's one of her kind here too. Good girl. She's doing really good. So we're probably going to go another few blocks, which will take us a little better than a half a mile, and then we'll do a half a mile back. Good girl. And it's, as I said, these roads are pretty quiet. And I have lights on here flashing as well. In addition, Dan is behind to just ensure all safety procedures are followed. Additionally, I've been doing this for years in my neighborhood. I've lived here for over 20 years and trained all my huskies here. Never had a problem. Most people know me. There are some new neighbors. Good girl. Haw. 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 Look at how good she's doing. Haw. Now, Princess got a little more pep in her, of course. So great over there, so we want to be careful. She's looking at Dan because she hears the car, because we're entering a little bit of a hill again, and she hears him, and she wants to be, good girl, GiGi, good girl, Princess. You're the best. She wants to be sure nothing's coming behind us that could hurt her. Good girl. She's out in front now. So this is just, again, truthfully nothing more than a glorified walk. But as her confidence level builds and she gets more comfortable with everything, she'll increase the speed, like right now. She's just out in front. She's trying to pick up on a scent, and I'm letting everything appeal to her so as to get her mind off of what we're doing. So this is just another instinctual part of the bathroom stop again. Good girl, good girl. That's all so good for her, as you're aware of. Now, Princess has a lot more pulling power in her, so she wants to go, but she's being really good about the slowness, or slow pace we're moving at. So if you caught any of our broadcasts or videos last year of us RuFF-Boarding, or earlier this year for that matter, well, last year we were doing GiGi with the whole wolf pack, with all 4 dogs. So we had 5 dogs total on here. This bike is equipped for that, and it's okay, good girl, it's okay. She just hears the van behind me with Dan running over some of the debris, a lot of branches down, just small ones from the current storms we had, from the just earlier storms the past day or so, but nothing big. But you do want to be sure that some of these branches are actually a little bit of a challenge for the dogs when they're on here, and they'll jump them, and again, just a confidence builder. The big dogs are all used to it. When we're on the trail, we run into all kinds of stuff that they're jumping and maneuvering out of the way, and they're super fast to respond to. If you've ever seen a deer run in the woods, I mean, they can transverse the terrain like it's nobody's business, the way they can move through all the trees and avoid them. It's quite a remarkable sight. And the dogs are similar in that way. They can keep going and respond so quickly. Good girl. So I'm going to do a little bit of a U-turn here. Come on, good girl. Haw, 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 come around. Haw, come around. Good girl. Haw, come around. Hi there. I do usually. Just getting the little one going now. Have a great day. Thank you. Come on, good girls. Come on. Okay, so, haw, haw. Come on. Come on, good girl. So GiGi's very interested, which is good.
We saw, I don't know if you got to view that, a lady was strolling with a baby, using a baby stroller, and she's like, you usually have like 30 dogs with you. But look at Gigi. Now she's really in there. Now heading home will naturally motivate them more because they know they're going back and they're excited about it, unless of course they're steadfast for a lot more exercise, which is usually my guys. When I head home, they fight me. But Gigi feels comfortable because she just knows her scent is still pretty vivid on the trail we're traveling, because she was just here, and she knows the way home from here, as we've done this a lot before. So she's like, yeah, this is cool. We're heading home now. We're going to see Mom, and we're going to have food there and all that good stuff. By the way, I know I've said this before, but after any exercise, I usually wait a good hour before I would ever feed them to avoid bloat. So here's some neighborhood dogs. I know there's a few of them on our path, so we might come near them. Come on, good girl, good girl. And she heard that too, so she's like, what's that? What's that, Dad? And this is just so awesome. And you can hear we're going downhill, so there's no motor involved. I'm just on the brakes the whole time. Good girl. Good girl, Gigi. You can see she keeps a great distance from the bike. Now, Princess, that white rail you see is soft PVC pipe. So if it touches the dogs, it doesn't bother them at all. It's just actually loosely attached with cable ties. Good girl. Princess is going to have a bathroom break. And again, that's good for her too. Good girl, pretty Princess. Good girl, good girl. Come on, good girl. Princess kicking back. When they kick back, they're kicking back their scent. They're feeling really good and letting any other dogs that come near know that they've claimed this area. Paul, G. Okay, G. Good boys and good girls. G means to the right. So again, I'm trying to give sled dog commands, and Dan fell back as he's taking care of the Princess bathroom break. So look at them. They're all out in front. Look at that, working really well together. So this year, depending on how Gigi performs here throughout the summer, we could go deeper into the fall with her and just bundle her up real warm. She's very energetic. Chinese crested, it's not really defined as a working breed, but they were actually on ships to hunt, Chinese ships supposedly, to hunt down rodents. And they got a lot of energy, some of them, and Gigi's one of them. So she definitely has it in her. They do actually weight pulling contests with Chinese crested. You wouldn't believe it, but they do. So she's definitely equipped to do these lighter runs that we do. With our other Chinese crested, she wasn't as energetic, and I didn't involve her until her later years into what we do, so she was already a little older at that point. Still capable, but I actually took her on a couple of our WooFDriver on tours, our big runs, where we do the dog bike with the going from town to town and looking for trails we haven't ridden before. And she rode with us on the Ghost Town Trail. I've got the video on YouTube, and it was just simply awesome. We ran into a porcupine I'll never forget. It was at night, right in the middle of the trail, and it wouldn't move. It was, we had to stop, and the boys and Princess were going wild, and Gigi poked her little head up and said, "What's that?" And she saw it, and she got all excited, and it was quite an event. And of course, nobody got hurt. And porcupines are just slow moving, and they can't really hurt you unless you go into them. You can't really shoot their quills, but they turn around and aim them toward you, so that if you were going to attack them, or if you were running after them and they stopped, you would get a face full of quills, a dog would, or some other animal. So They're just, they're pretty awesome creatures. I really like them, actually. I don't want to mix it up with them. But as GiGi progresses, we might actually include her on some of the trips this year, because like Lulu, we can create a little riding spot for her, and when she can get out there on the sled on wheels, on the dog bike, she'll join us. Come on. Good girl. She's looking back as Dan's back there again, making noise with the van. Good girl. Good girl. Wow, look at her. She's rolling. Good girl. Good girl, GiGi. Good girl, Princess. This is a nice little run for Princess because, again, just keeping the mobility for her joints without a big workout today is soothing for her and will help with her arthritic woes. Again, the boys are at home, and they might see me come down the driveway and be a little jealous, but they'll get their workout in tomorrow. So this will be, when we're done, about 1.2 miles. G, 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 good G, good G. So you can say the sled dog commands. You can really enunciate them with long pronunciations, if I'm saying that right. So G, haw. It's not just sudden words like left or right. A little harder to say that, and more, not necessarily syllables, same amount, but because I guess they're ending with an enclosed letter. I'm making this as I go, making these so I can say it like left. You can't go left. It wouldn't make sense, but haw, big word. That's why they do that. And I believe those commands were originally created, if I'm not mistaken, in Europe. Good girl. For horses. Come on, good girl. Good girl. So we're a little bit tight. She's trying to ride the curb because there's cars over here. And there's some dogs. And that's good for them to hear. Good girl, GiGi. Good girl, Princess. And to understand that we just keep going. There's a command called on by. And on by means keep going. On by. I don't use it as much with the dogs because usually when we pick up on a site or a scent on a trail, we might even stop to let whatever it is go by us. Or we might stop to take pictures. But on a traditional dog sled, the dogs are out in front and they're on what they call a tow rope. And on that rope, they can go left or right. There's a lot of play there, so they have more chance of deviating from the main trail and taking the sled where they would want to go. So you would be harder to, on by command becomes a lot more important. Haw. We're going to turn in. Haw. Haw. Good girls. Haw. Good girls. Then we're going to bounce a little. And GiGi did real good on that. Easy. Good girls. Easy. Good girls. Easy. Good girls. Easy. Haul over. Haul over. Good girls. And the boys weren't over to check us out, which is good. They don't know we're out here. I feel like I'm cheating on them because they're not with me. Easy, easy. Ho. Another big command. Ho. Again, open-ended. Ho. Good girl. GiGi, very good. So I brought some treats with me, but she didn't need them. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release Princess first. Easy, good girls. She wants to see Dan. Hey, Dan, you want to get her? Good girl, GiGi. And she's very excited to see Dan. See how good she did? She was rolling, wasn't she? Okay, good girl. She's excited to see you, Dan the man.
I knew she was going to have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Great, thank you. So Gigi's going to go inside, and I'm going to... Princess, good girl. I'm going to put Princess... Princess is on an invisible fence out here in this part of the yard. We have different yards. Some are fenced, and some are invisible fenced. Good girl. Now we might get a view. Well, I don't have the camera off, or I would take it into the pond. She's probably going to do a dip into the pond that I had on a live feed last week of the fish. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Whoops, did I hit the camera? And folks, I'll tilt the camera up so you can get a view of me. So once again, I am the WooFDriver, and we did a great run with Princess and GiGi, our 10-pound Chinese crested. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to be on another live broadcast real soon. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is the WooFDriver signing off.